Hello, my name is Alex Finch, and you're watching this video. Nope, hell no. So for the past couple of weeks, I've been threatening to make longer form content at some point in the near future. Unfortunately for you, dear viewer, the near future has arrived. I have to admit, I'm not really sure what I'm going to say in these videos, because at the moment, the main problem I'm having with these is the engineering equivalent of, I think, a missing semicolon. It's difficult to see because the camera angle isn't perfect, but these eyeballs. On this side, there is this amount of gap. On this side, there is not that amount of gap. And it hurts me on a spiritual level. So my endeavours for the past week or so have been trying to remedy that. Nothing has worked so far. See, the problem with this is that if the eyes rather look too far to the right in this case, they usually tend to scrape on the eyelid joints, which is not good. I did recently print a replacement part for that, which I think has helped the situation a little bit. Now when it looks all the way over to the right, it just barely misses the eyelid joint. But I'm still not satisfied with that. There is nothing in the design that indicates that the eyeball should be lopsided, so I'm going to keep working on that until I find a solution. Up until recently, the main problem that I've been trying to solve is getting this body in here. The cupcake that I'm building needs to have a jaw that can open and close, and trying to mount the head to a servo and a joint that can move reliably has been a pain. I needed to hammer some bearings into the back, but it works. Now what I'm trying to do, or no, what I was trying to do, is attach a shell to it. These are all of the iterations that I tried. This was the first version of the body, which, to save on plastic, only had half of the shape required. It worked okay, but of course for the final one I needed to print the whole thing. So then, once that was done, I printed this. I done goofed with this one. I forgot to put a hole in the back for the servo cables to go through, so I had to drill one with the biggest drill bit I have, which is only 10mm, so it took a lot of sanding and swearing. I also forgot to put the holes in the bottom that would actually let me mount it to the thing. I did design those, but the version that I printed did not have them. So I started to print this one, and then thought the better of it because that's a huge waste of plastic. Instead, I used this and the holes that it did have as a guide to try and drill some on the bottom of this. That didn't work. Well, it did, but the holes weren't perfectly aligned, and so, unfortunately, the body scraped on the head shell. So, the latest version that I've done also has some holes in it. This isn't going to be the final one. I cut holes in it so that I could save some plastic while printing, although the savings were negligible. It's honestly impressive how little plastic I saved. But this version, I have verified, has a big enough hole the servo cables go through well enough, has mounting holes on the bottom, so I can actually install the bloody thing, and it doesn't hit the head shell, which I'm very happy with. So that took some designing. Now, this week isn't going to be a very long-winded video. I honestly don't know what to say in this video because it's boring at the moment. Very small fixes that impact nobody but myself. But in the future, you can expect videos every Sunday at roughly 5:30 PM AEST, or Australian Eastern Standard Time. That schedule is not going to be kept. Trust me. But I do intend to release videos at least every Sunday, longer videos. I would promise that they won't all be as boring as this one, but I can't promise that. So instead, I'm going to promise it anyway, and just hope to God that somebody watches it every week in the hopes that it isn't boring. So more views. That's pretty much all for this week. Not a whole lot else to be said. Come back in a week for some hopefully more interesting content, and tune in every so often to see little shorts that I'll be posting of smaller updates. See you around.